Hello friends, welcome to the channel Soft Skills by Vanna Sani. Today I'm going to talk about very basic social etiquettes. Most of us, we already know about it, but somehow I find that these are missing somewhere. So we need to follow them. It always gives an impression that you are a very kind and pleasant person if you're following these things. The first and foremost thing you need to take care of is the three magical words which I talked about in the previous video also. The three magical words: thank you, please, and you're welcome. So whenever you have to ask for a favor, whenever you want somebody to do something for you, please add the word please. And that's not only in face-to-face conversation, even while texting. If you add the word please and you say thank you and the other person says welcome, you're welcome. So all these, it gives a very pleasant experience of talking. This shows that you respect the other person, and you give, in a way, a positive impression about your own self. So don't forget to use these words. Next is greeting. I find people not greeting each other these days. They are so much busy on their phone, texting somebody. If they just pass by or they just ignore the person, I don't know what is the reason, whatsoever is the reason, but it is always good to greet the other person. Greeting of the day should be there with a smile. Smile is a magic. If you smile, the other person is definitely going to smile back. So sometimes it happens that the strangers, they become friends like that only. Then whenever you are meeting a stranger, you ask the name and you say, how do you do? And the conversation strikes like that. Be 100% with the person, means full attention should be given. It should not be that you are chatting with somebody on the phone, and this is what actually happens. I've seen people doing that. You are with a person and you are still not there. Physical presence does not mean that you're just sitting beside a person and you're busy on your own phone. That is a kind of a disrespect you're showing to the person. So unless and until it's very urgent, then only take the call or be there with the text or whatever you're doing. And that again, you need to ask and say that, excuse me, can I take call? Or excuse me, it's something very urgent, I need to text or what, right? Go by that. But don't just ignore the person. And whenever you are going out with your friends or with the family to dine out, ensure that you do not remain busy with your phone. Phone should be kept away. This is one thing that I've found, that the younger generation, even not only the younger, even the older ones, they are so much hooked onto the phones these days. So keep the phone away and be with the person. And then the next thing you need to take care of is, if you are at a shopping mall or at any other place, and if you find that there are people who want to enter, you need to hold the door open for them, right? Like somebody coming behind you, you just cannot slam the door into your face. If you find the hands are full and a person cannot open the door, so you keep the door open for them, hold the door for them. That's perfectly fine. That will just show that how well-mannered you are. It's not essential that you have to keep the door open for a girl or a boy. That's not, gender doesn't matter here, but your genuine kindness will be shown. You need to keep the door open. Don't slam the door into the face of anyone. And then the other thing you need to take care of is, whenever you are in conversation, you find that two people are talking, please do not interrupt. Like you want to talk to the other, those two who are talking, let them finish with the conversation or the thought what the person has to say. You cannot just interrupt and say, no, first listen to me. So that is something very wrong, and I find people doing it. You should have patience. And the other thing is, at a public place, sometimes it happens that while moving, somebody bumps into you, not intentionally, otherwise. You should not start shouting at the person. That is something really, really wrong. The person bumps into, maybe even forgets to say sorry. Just have patience, be kind, forgive, and forget. Sometimes I have seen people making a big issue out of that. So don't do it. And whenever you are going out with your friends or with your family and you are uh, in a public place, maybe you're dining out, your voice level should be low. You should mellow down and you should speak softly. You should not be like talking very loudly and other people are getting disturbed. That should not happen. So these are certain basic social etiquettes which I wanted to share with all of you. And many of you are following, and some of them I find that they are missing these days. So I think it is good thing to follow social etiquettes. That always gives an impression that you are well bred and you have been raised very nicely.